What's going on? Apparently I'm not so good at talking to myself because it's the 5th time I'm trying to make this video. It is my first YouTube video I'm going to be making, and I do want to talk about my 12 valve I purchased about 4 years ago. And the reason of this video is because I just want to let people know that if you're going to be using a truck for work, buy a new truck or a year old or 2 years old, not more than that. So I want to talk about my experience with the 12 valve. So 4 years ago, I was working for a contractor, and one of the employees had this truck, and he came over to me. He's like, "Oh, I want to sell it." I'm like, "All right, how much?" He's like, 10 grand. I'm like, "What year is it?" He's like, 97, 330,000 miles. I'm like, "Dude, you're crazy. That's way too much money for a truck that's 20-something years old." All right, a few months pass by. He comes back to me. He's like, "All right, I'll sell it for $4,500. So I started looking online. I never owned a truck before besides like a Dodge Dakota. I never had a diesel truck. I did some research, Craigslist, Google, and reading about these 12 valves. It's a 97, 5-speed, and they got a good name out there. It's 12 valve, it's a Cummins. They last forever. They could pull a house down, they could do it all. So I went ahead, and for $4,500, I got him down to $3,500. I figured I'd buy it. It came with a Boss plow. I figured worst comes to worst, truck blows up the next day. I'm left with a $1,500 plow I could sell and sell the rest for parts. I'll get my money back, and that's it. So the reason I think you need a new truck for work, I mean, old trucks are good. I'm not saying don't buy an old truck. They could be amazing. I just didn't have the best buy. A project or whatever you want an old truck for. I'm not hating, but I basically bought it, and he turned it on. It was loud. It sounded good. I got excited, gave the guy cash, and left. I'm going up the road. Steering pump's tight. Wasn't working, radiator leaking. I ended up with a bill before you knew it. And basically used the truck the last 5 years. Long story short, I have receipts. I like new clutch, new 4x4 drive shaft, single drive shaft for the rear. That I put more leaf springs, Bilstein shocks, redid the front end, put a tow hitch in the back, electric brakes for the trailer. Half the switches there for the lights and blinkers are all new. I could just keep going on. Fuel solenoid, batteries, steering pump, steering box, starter, belts, fan clutch. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Basically, I spent 20 grand the last 4 years on this truck on everything around the motor and transmission. Even the door has a strap on it. I mean, I had, like, the last 8 months I've been hopping through the passenger side. These trucks are great, but it's 20 years old. And as much as people say they'll tow a home and tow this and tow that, yes, they're powerful. For 97, we're in 2019 right now. We got to get with times. I know you can put work into the motor and do all kinds of things, but it's just my belief. I mean, if I had the extra money, maybe I would do all that, but I'm talking for someone that's on a budget, for someone that doesn't have all that extra money, for someone that just wants to get into a truck and work and spend 12 hours a day in it and be comfortable and not have to wake up in the morning and put the lights on and have them flickering and the blinker don't work one day. And this thing put me through 4 years, 20 grand, and getting stuck in mechanic shops. So what happened to me about 2 months ago, I have a demolition business. I have a 16-foot dump trailer I purchased about 6 months ago. I have a 12-foot landscaping trailer, which is what I towed that, I've used the landscaping trailer most of the 4 years. Like I said, dump trailer is new. But I did use the dump trailer about 2 months ago to tow a lot of stone. There was probably my trailer is able to tow 17.5 with the weight of the trailer. There was probably like 12,000 pounds in that trailer. So I was towing, I was going up the highway. It was a combination of 17, 18,000 pounds. And out of nowhere, the motor blew. The whole front end started jumping up and down, and I got stuck on the road, and that motor was just done. I took it to the mechanic shop. I thought maybe the killer dowel pin dropped, and maybe that's what screwed me up, but I'll show you guys inside. I'm gonna pop the hood for you. That's the 5-speed. I don't know if you guys will be able to see the mileage, but that's it right there. So I took it to the shop, and there's the killer dowel pin. We took up the covers and all. It wasn't the killer dowel pin. The motor wouldn't spin. The motor is locked up, and that was it. I wasn't gonna go and spend another $2,500 bucks, $3,500 on a motor that has 200,000 miles and drop it in. I was just done. Now it's worth about $2 grand, maybe $3 if I'm lucky. Someone that needs parts. And that's it. There it goes. So what I ended up doing was, I was looking for a newer truck. I said I'm done with old trucks. I actually went on Craigslist. I actually went to see some more 12 valves with like a rack body and stuff, and every time I went, I just started thinking about the times I was stuck at the shop, and I didn't want to take the risk anymore. I was done. So I went ahead and I bought a 2017 with 20,000 miles powerstroke. And the reason I went with a Ford, I honestly went and test drove all 3 new trucks, the GMC, Chevys, you know, Ford, Dodge. I thought the Ford drove the best, and from just reading online and doing research, I don't think you could go wrong with any of them. They're all beautiful, they're all great, especially if you're buying something almost pretty much brand new. Unless you have mechanical issues, which hopefully not. I believe you should be fine the first 10 years, 5 years especially, of owning it. Another reason I went with the Ford is because my brother has a 2012 with 150,000 miles. He is extremely happy, has no issues. He went on vacation about a month ago. I used the truck for 2 weeks, and I was really impressed with the... It just, honestly, I think the Ford drives like a Lexus compared to the Dodge. GMC had a great ride as well. I just think Dodge just has like this old school feel to it, but I know it's a truck. It's not meant to drive like a Lexus, but I'm still in it 12 hours a day. I had to have something I felt comfortable in, and it's just so spacious, and it's just beautiful. So what happened was, I was going on Facebook and looking online at different dealers looking for a truck. I go on Facebook one night, I see this 2017. Actually, it was during the day. It was like a Tuesday. I was at a dealership here in New Jersey looking at a different F-350 XLT, which was a really base model. This is like an XLT with the chrome package, meaning it has fog lights. It's got 410 rear in the gears in the rear. It's got the center console, not the seat that goes up and down. It's got a few more options than the basic XLT. The truck at the dealership, it was a basic XLT going for like 53,000. This guy was trying to sell this one for 45. So I actually pretty much left that dealership, called this guy. I'm like, where do you live? He's like, Pennsylvania. It's a 3-hour trip from where I'm at. I was like, I'm coming tomorrow. I spoke to the guy for like 3 hours. I told him I'll come with a certified check, give you cash. Would you go down from 45 to 40? He's like, if you're serious, yes. I'm like, what's the reason you're selling? He's like, I'm a retired guy. I'm about 60 years old. I bought a 5th wheel camper to live in, and I sold it. I bought a condo. I just don't need it anymore. It's too much. All I do is go up and down the road to Dunkin' Donuts every day. I'm like, all right, sounds good to me. 40,000 bucks, 2017, 20,000 miles. I could probably use the truck for 5-6 years and still sell it for that kind of money. So I was all excited. I'm getting ready to go sleep that night, wake up in the morning, leave early. He calls me up the night before, like 11 o'clock at night. You sound like a scam. I'm not taking a certified check. If you don't come with cash, I want to walk into a bank with you and leave. If I ain't doing that, just don't call me again. Tried calling him a few more times, and I don't have the cash. I had to come with some certified check and partially cash. He just ignored me, and that was it. I was really pissed. Life goes on. About a week later, I go on Facebook again. I see the same freaking truck at a dealership going for 49 grand. I'm like, what a dumb... I was so mad. I'm like, you know what? Just because I'm not buying this truck, even though I still thought it was a good deal. I have a sticker on from this. He purchased it about 2 years ago for 62,000, and I believe even now it's probably worth about 53, 52. You know, even 49 was a good deal. I called the dealership. So I said I'm not buying it. Like a week later, the dealer still has it. I'm like, you know what? I really need a truck. My Cummins blew up. I'm out of business. I'm just gonna go look at it. 3-hour trip, but it's a good deal. I'm gonna go. And it's the XLT with the package I want. It just feels a little nicer in there. I'm gonna show it to you. I'm gonna put it on. So I go to the dealer and I told them I was serious. I want to go home with this truck. They gave it to me for $46,000. So I thought that was a great deal for a truck that is 2 years old, barely 2 years old with 20,000 miles. And that's why I'm gonna go over some numbers. That's why I don't believe in buying new, because the moment you leave the lot, it just drops 10, 12, 13 grand in price, just like that. Money you'll never get back, no matter what. So the way I look at it is that, you know, I bought this truck. It's for work. I plan on keeping it many years. I'd say the minimum 12 years. And I did a calculation. If I keep it for 12 years and I decide to sell it then, I mean, who knows what it's going to be worth then. But if I kept it for 12 years, I'm only spending $3,800 a year on the truck. Again, I don't think things could go wrong mechanically. I know there could be other surprises, but just plain simple, it's $3,800 a year on this truck. Versus my 97 12 valve, which I've owned it for 4 years and spent $5,000 a year on it. It is old. You never know what to expect that morning when you turn it on. And all the aggravation and mechanic shops and downtime, meaning I am not working, I am not making money because it's at a shop, getting a clutch done for a week and a half. And when the front end got done, my mechanic screwed me and it took him like 4 months. I mean, it's just aggravation you have to go through with an old truck. So 12 years, $46,000. Keep it for 12 years. It's costing me $3,800. And let's say I decided in 2022 to sell the truck. Now the truck is 5 years old. And let's say I could sell it for $36,000. So from 46, now it's worth 36. I have a $10,000 loss. That's only $2,000 a year that I am losing after selling it 5 years. So to me, it's just a no-brainer. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand it is very expensive. This is like a dream come true. I've been wanting a new truck, or I've never even owned a new car. This is like a big deal for me. The only reason I'm able to afford it is because I have a business and it makes me money. If I didn't have the demolition business, I would not own such an expensive truck, and probably not even such a, you know, a car worth that much money. Thank God, like I said, 12 years, $46,000, $3,800 a year. I mean, I got really lucky. My credit is good. My payments are only $790 a month on the truck. So to me, it was just a no-brainer. It was just time to make the move, which took me a long time to make a decision. Honestly, I wasn't sure about the gas truck. Maybe I could get away with it, pulling my trailer, which weighs 5,500 pounds alone, but at times it could weigh like 10, 12, 15, 16,000 pounds at times. I was going to like truck stops at the highway, just talking to people that are hauling with, you know, the 6.2 and you know, the Ford guys, the 6.2 motor, and guys with diesels, guys with the Dodge, guys with the GMCs. I was just getting opinions from people. To me, it was a big decision, and I know how it could be really hard to choose and make the proper decision, but this is what I finally did, and I am really happy. I'm gonna show you the inside. I'm gonna put it on for you guys. I mean, 20,000 miles. This thing doesn't have a scratch. This thing is... And another thing is, I went to so many dealerships looking at trucks. For some reason, all these Power Strokes that were a year old in most dealerships, they were coming from Enterprise Rentals, and I did not feel comfortable buying a truck that came from a rental. I just didn't. You know, I would walk into the truck. It had 12,000 miles in it. The whole dash was scratched up, and it's just... And they're asking $53,000. I just couldn't do that. This truck I knew came from the first owner, which I told you the story. I was in touch with him. He sent me a picture with him. You know, he was standing, you know, I saw what the guy looks like. He's in his 60s, 70s maybe. It's just, you know, I couldn't get better. I just feel so much more comfortable. Oh, there goes that. You see, this truck got the center console versus the basic XLT. It's got the switches on top for, I guess, plows or lights. It's got the Bluetooth. It's got the exhaust brake. It's got the camera reverse, and then it's got the camera for the bed. So if you want to hook up a fifth wheel trailer, you can see what you're doing. What else could I show you? Got the chrome package. It's got an outlet over here. doesn't have a carpet, but I don't need it. I do demo. My truck could get dirty at times. And another thing is, I was really scared of getting the half doors, but after sitting in the back and realizing how much space there really is, I mean, my seat's a little... I am 5'11" and I fit in here. The seat could probably, I could probably, you know, if I had someone, I'd push it up an inch or two. But there is plenty of space. I believe that's extra too, the chrome wheels. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, it was my first YouTube video. I hope I didn't miss anything. And I appreciate, I mean, I'm gonna look through the comments. Just trying to think. Oh, it came with the, it's got the code over here for the door, which is nice. The regular XLT did not have that. It does have heated mirrors. Electric heated mirrors. They don't fold in on their own, but which I thought it was weird. This one doesn't have a sunroof, which I don't need. Will potentially leak, and it's for work. Well, hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a wonderful day. People, that's why you should go new versus old. Like I said, it worked out for me. Again, a year old, don't buy brand new. Save the $12,000 you lose driving off the lot. For me, $46,000, 12 years, $3,800 a year about. And in 12 years from now, it's probably gonna still be worth 10, 15 grand, depending on condition and mileage. So to me, financially, it just made so much more sense in the long run. I was spending 5 grand a year over here, stuck, mechanics, not making money, downtime. It just makes so much more sense financially. I know initially the numbers sound high, 50, 49, $55,000, but if you divide it and do the math, it just makes sense. Hustle, make money, you will. Landscaping, construction, whatever you do, just don't be scared of the, you know, I was always scared, at least me, I can talk about myself. I was scared, oh my God, 50 grand, it was just so much easier for me to get an old truck and like keep dropping money, but when you do the numbers, it just makes sense. Good luck with your decision. Oh shit, look who pulls up. 2012, my brother with his deleted powerstroke, 140,000 miles. This is the one I drove when he was on vacation. Oh, it's locked, but it's on. But guys, good luck with your decisions. We'll be back.